Hello, beautiful people of the interwebs. If this happens to be your first time sliding by, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy and hang out with us and continue to keep hanging out with us. If you've been here before and you've decided to return, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all of you guys in our community. It means a lot. So, tonight, what are we doing? We are doing a flip through of a deck that I'm really excited about. It's an oracle deck, and it is a very chunk. It is a chunky deck. So you might want to grab a cup of whatever, glass of whatever, tea, coffee, wine, seltzer water, whatever floats your boat, because this deck it's a lot of cards in this deck. She's chunky. And I'm going to do a flip through, and I'm really excited. So if you want to go grab something, this might be a little bit longer of a video, so you can pause now, go grab whatever cozy blanket, or since it's a million degrees where I am, maybe not a cozy blanket, maybe a nice ice pack or something. But anyway, come on back whenever you are settled, because this is going to be a little bit longer, because again, this is a really large deck of cards. It is one of Chanel Day's decks, and I really wanted to get this out to you guys sooner. I've tried to film this video several times, moving and all the joys of moving. So, ring lights that are still packed in boxes that I'm not able to access right now. So I got a new ring light. I also have a clip light. So please leave a comment, especially my regular peeps in the family. Let me know what you think and feel. The lamp over here, as you can see, is very warm, very yellow, and I've got more cooler tone on the light. So let me know what it looks like from your standpoint. So I've been trying to get this video out because Chanel is not going to have her decks available for much longer at all. So if you see this video, I never ask you guys to share. It always feels weird, and I know I'm supposed to ask people like, comment, share. So I'm going to try to get more comfortable with that. But for this, please, if there's anybody you know that would like Chanel Day's decks, please share this video in case somebody would be interested in this. Because after today, which is June 22nd, so literally 10 days, 11 days, 9 days, June 30th will be the last day that any of her decks will be available. So I will leave a link to MPC, Make Playing Cards, down below, where you can go directly to order this deck or any of her other decks. As I always say with Chanel's decks, make sure that you are being very cautious when you are ordering, because she tends to give multiple options for each deck, with or without gilding, in a box or no box. Some come, you can with the option of having a tin, a metal tin that they come in, linen or smooth, superior smooth. Be sure that you have selected not just the deck that you want, but the version of it that you actually want. So this is going to be a walkthrough of the Chromatica deck. I don't know where I got it in my head that it's called the Prisma Visions deck. Y'all, is there a deck called yeah, Prisma Visions? I don't know where I got that. Does that exist in the world? Is that somebody else's deck? I don't know what's going on. But it is the Chromatica deck. So you'll see me, I've got my iPad with some notes on it, to refer to. But look, she is a chunk. She is thick. She is 106 cards. Chanel's decks tend to be more of on the investment. They're independently created. So her decks do tend to be a little bit more expensive. So they are a little bit of an investment. If you are a huge tarot enthusiast, or if you are like myself, both an enthusiast but also a professional reader, this may be something that's in your budget. Because her decks are about to completely go out of circulation, this was supposed to have been a very low buy year, and this is anything but low buy because of Chanel. So, Prisma Visions, Chromatica. So it is 106 cards. And I'm not going to take too much time as I go through each card because, again, look at the size of this. So these are the backs, these gorgeous, brightly colored. I love bright jewel tones, and there's a lot of very jewel tone shades in here. Hues, correct me, artists. I love this backing because it's almost like if static on the TV could be colored, or almost like it reminds me of like a puddle in a nighttime scene where there's a puddle of water on blacktop, on asphalt, and maybe the vibrations from like a large truck or something making the ground shake. Um, and so you have this like almost you can feel the vibrations of this of the backs. So the deck is, like I said, is 106 cards in total, and when they come in the order of the colors of the spectrum of the rainbow. And I have been very, very disciplined, implemented some Capricorn discipline. And so I have not shuffled the deck. I have kept it as it came to me in the package. So there are 16 cards that are red or crimson, 14 that are amber or orange, 15 yellow or amber yellow, 15 in shades of green, 14 in shades of blues, 12 purple or ultraviolet, 13 pink, and then there are 6 that are rainbow. So they incorporate all the colors in the spectrum. The cards are not numbered, but what I did is to kind of have a master key for myself, is where I've listed what I just read to you guys. And then I have each of the cards in the title of the card, but I have them numbered just so that for my own record, so that I can kind of keep track. Because sometimes one way to reset your deck, which is a part of cleansing, one method is to put your cards back into the original order in which they came. So I've kept this record of for my own self. So that may be something that you want to do as well. Here's my kitchen. So let's take a walk through. The first one may actually be, it may end up being my favorite card. Feminine Rage. I am an angry woman. Don't fucking tell me to calm down. I love that. Oh my God. I love Chanel's decks. She does, if you're not familiar with her decks, she does collage art on all of her decks. That is the style that she does, in motion with Cher on roller skates. And I just love her as an artist so much. I love how she is able to find these images that just capture the essence of whatever the card is, the title of the card, and the meaning of it in this really unique way. I tend to love the color palettes that she uses, and the cards that just, again, these images, open wound, like with literally an anatomical heart, why do you hurt me, written in script in the back, crown of thorns with blood dripping. It's just, her cards are just so, the imagery is always so evocative. It's always so poignant. It's always so able to really, for me, reach me in such a deep way, almost sometimes visceral reaction that I have to some of her cards. Rapture. So I'm going to speed up a little bit because there are 106 cards and we're already at 10 minutes. And there are several decks that I could think of that this could be paired with right off the bat. It could be paired easily with her Hecate deck. What's it called? Moonlit Path. Right off the top of my head would be really good. Game over, shut down. I'm interested to see how this might pair with Tarot Vampires, if anybody has TOV. because even though it's very modern imagery as opposed to kind of Victorian Gothic imagery in the TOV, the jewel tones and the colors and also just the energy of the deck, I feel like it might actually pair really well with that deck. And some of the titles that she has, there's just this unique walk or view into the mind that is Chanel Bays. Sip slowly from your own sweetness. I mean, it's like you can just taste the honey. You can feel the honey. You taste the sweetness. You can feel like the glossy stickiness of honey or of glossy lip gloss. Overwhelming. I mean, my gosh, look at how that just captures the feeling of like overwhelmment. To live is to question. And in this day and age when books are trying to be banned and silenced, yeah, her cards just speak to so many things that I think are very important conversations that are starting to be had in society and in the collective as a whole, as well as things that each one of us may individually in our personal lives be experiencing. Endure by adapting with a chameleon under his heat lamp. Another one of those unique Chanel titles, citrus on the tongue. So is it bitter? Is it sweet? Is it bittersweet? Golden laughter. Look at that. I just love that. The two ladies on their roller coaster ride. Energy finds expression. Well, if any of you have ever had an orange or a ginger cat, that you can see how perfect that is. Make space with a very smoggy, hazy scene of what looks like it's Los Angeles and subway seats. Definitely a Philadelphia subway, it could be. The body says yes. Looks like dancers doing the Lindy Hop where they swing in the air like they did in the 30s, which is so amazing. And the bubbles flying. Yes, you're going to hear me gush and ooh and ah over this deck and any of her other decks because I just think that she is such a talented creatrix. Her ability to, again, her eye for color, her ability to put together collage in such a beautiful way that is just her own authentic voice. And yeah, consider myself to be very, very fortunate considering that her decks will no longer be available to have her decks. I have kind of splurged and gotten several of them. I've even gotten one or two of her decks as backup copies because that's just how much I love her work and would be gutted if, God forbid, anything happened and I lost one of her decks or anything caused damage to them. Although I'm very cautious with my decks and very, they are sacred objects to me. But life happens. Mind open and the mushrooms and just thinking about the mycelium and how they communicate underground and how the intelligence and intellect of mushrooms still becoming. So if any of you work with Hope Springs Eternal, if any of you work with colors, particularly if you work with the chakras, I think this would be a brilliant deck for anybody who does energy work in that way. I think this deck is going to work really well for altar cards. I do love the diversity in this deck that Chanel has, the inclusion and her mindfulness in that respect, in that regard. I think these cards would be fantastic for meditation, for journaling, for reading for individuals, for reading for your own personal benefit. As you wish. I think for path working, these could be really, really interesting. She has a lot of cats. She definitely, I think she has just 2 cats, Bluebell, and I forget what other kitty's name is. Quiet, thriving. There's just a vibrancy and an aliveness I feel in her cards where it's very easy for the auditory experience to happen for me. It's very easy for me to hear what's happening, to feel immersed in the imagery. I love this one, little duck butts up in the air. Oh my gosh. Waiting without urgency. I think this might end up being one of my favorite cards just for the title of that alone and what that means. Waiting without urgency. Dim hope. This image in particular speaks very specifically to me, a certain picture that I have that I took on my phone many years ago, and that definitely trips off a very specific memory for me with that imagery. Repeating delight. Life in transit. And I like with the different colors how she uses different shades of each one of the colors. Everything is connected. The mycelium again, the code and the matrix. Now we're on to the blues. Velvet Night Confessions. Oh my God. Yes, shamelessly gushing. Told you. We'll continue to do so. Aurora Borealis. Oh my God. Far up north. Sure of your worries. This one is just, this one, when I've looked at it, it just really makes me think like I need to delve into really vibe on that one. Rewritten. Fall deeper. Draw breath. Blowing bubbles. Do not fear the storm. Makes me think of Blue Oyster Cult. Don't fear the Reaper. Flow. Look at that. Gorgeous moonlight shimmering on the water, and then the actual blood red full moon over the roller coaster. Stop it, lady, stop. Go slow. Urban melancholy. Nothing satisfies. You know those times when it's just weird, like nothing satisfies, like your favorite foods, favorite clothes, your favorite place to go, like you're in that weird just blah state. Softness can weather pressure. So again, very unique. And I like that because, you know, in this day and age where there's so many oracle cards, I mean, how many times can we all say the same word? Now, each artist can definitely still have their own independent version of it and their own unique version and unique, we're into the purples and violets now, way of expressing the artwork of the same words. But I love how she has just completely different words and verbiage. Look at that. It's like the sparkle. God. Ugh, I can't with you, lady. Growth accelerated by chaos. Reminds me of the heat lightning that we have during the summertime here in New Orleans. The offering. Softening after conflict. I am half agony, half hope. Oh my gosh, I've been so disciplined in waiting to be able to do this video because I have not shuffled these cards, but as I have gone through them so many times, I just love this deck. And I am such a collector of Oracle decks. You guys have heard me say this before. I'm such a collector of Oracle, but don't use it a whole lot. But am being called more and more. Enchantment. Being called more and more to use Oracle, and specifically as clarifiers, but also to use Oracle on its own, between worlds. As above, so below. Now, yes, we're getting into the pinks and purples. Softness lives here in this, oops, soft, beautiful, soft shade of pink. Not everything needs to be revealed, which in a world of social media in this day and age, I think that is such an important card to have. Wise words. Rose-colored glasses. The blush of becoming. Oh my God, I did not realize who this is. Oh my God. This is from girls. Jesus, girls. This is from Greece. Beauty school dropout. Oh my God. Yes, I love it. Softly, willingly, beautifully. Connection that transcends. Pretty labor. Now this one I feel like I gotta think about this one. Pretty labor. But again, her cards are so thought-provoking. The imagery is just so unique and beautiful. Secure the bag. Diamonds are girl's best friend. Glittered defiance. Instead of tunnel of love, tunnel of delulu. Well-behaved women don't make history. Bad witch. Pink horizons. Is that Angelina? I think that might be Angelina. I shine because I exist. So now we're getting into the ones that are rainbow hued, as I've titled them. You hold multitudes. Dance fever. Studio 54. Oh, if only I'd been old enough. But again, if only I'd been old enough, I probably would not have lived to tell. It's all in your head. Attention deficit. Gonna get myself connected, disconnected, and multiple streams. So the cardstock on them, I don't know if this one comes in linen. I know a lot of people love linen. Definitely not my preference. So on the things that I could order from her that were not linen, I did. One of her tarot decks, I'm pretty sure, Deathly Flowers, I'm pretty sure that's only in linen. I don't recall if this one comes in linen or not, but this is the Superior Smooth, which is very, very smooth. It's glossy, but not hyper glossy, if that makes any sense. The cardstock is really good. They're almost like a, they're almost like a plastic coated almost to them as opposed to just paper. So I feel like this deck, especially if you're really careful with it, I think this deck would last a really long time. So I'm kind of proud of myself that I flipped through this quickly in just 24 minutes. Let me just take a sip. Oh, and having to make sure I get the electrolytes in because again, it's just so hot here. I'm going to do a quick shuffle. They are slick, okay, because I haven't shuffled them. So just to show you guys, yeah, they're very slick. And they are more of a square shape than a regular, I don't have any cards with me, but they're definitely more of a boxy shape, a wider rectangle, so to say, than a normal deck of cards. So my hands are kind of big, pretty big. So that's the tarot card. Give you an idea. They're pretty big. So I'm just going to shuffle and pull a card for all of us and see what we get. I've wafted some incense over them, but I've not cleansed them properly to use them. Because again, I wanted to keep them all in order. Forgive me, I just realized I just brushed against the microphone. I really hope I did not do that too many times. Okay, and done. What do we have here? Repeating delight. So the bright, gorgeous, bright vibrancy of the green. So much of this deck makes me think of chakra work. So green being the heart chakra, and the open expansiveness of them being outside at the fair. It almost looks like green starlight up here. So repeating delight, opening up our hearts to express and experience joy. And I can just hear the people, like I can hear the music at like a carnival or a fair, and on the giant swings going around. I can hear like the laughter of people screaming and laughing as they're being spun round and round in this circle, and feeling the wind and the breeze go by, and hearing the laughter of other people, because laughter is just, it's so contagious. You hear somebody laughing, you don't even know what they're laughing at. And, you know, we tend to just start cracking up and just even smiling, like, wait, what are you laughing about? So I can just feel that energy, like at a fair where there's just the childlike wonder and happiness and joy. And it makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune, as it is a wheel spinning round and round. And sometimes that feels really good. Sometimes it doesn't feel really good. But here, it seems to feel really, really good. So, what things cause us to open up our heart? What things maybe have you make you just smile? Make you just start laughing? You know, those things where they just come to your mind, and you're walking down the street and you look like a lunatic, but you don't even care, because it's just this joy that you feel from the inside, and it just ends up oozing out. How can we repeat those things? How can we, excuse me, make it our business to, with intention, create situations where, caught up in a quote vicious cycle, but as opposed to a vicious cycle, which oftentimes speaks to negative things that are repeating patterns, how can we create repeating patterns that just make us laugh out loud, to feel our hearts opening up and expanding, and for that to reverberate and to be infectious to other people, and to spread that kind of laughter and joy, so that it just grows in our own life, in our own experience, and for those that we are around. I love this deck. I love this deck. So again, this was a walkthrough of the Chromatica deck. I will leave the link down below if you find this video and it is after June 30th of 2026. It is most unlikely that you will be able to find this deck. I'm hoping that somehow, some way, and I say this every time I talk about her decks, I'm hoping somehow, some way that Chanel will reconsider. I respect her choices, as to why, reasons that she feels this is best for her. So I definitely respect that. I definitely also hope that at some point she might reconsider and make her decks available, as well as continue to create more decks. It makes me think of Ian Daniels' gorgeous Tarot of Vampires. What an absolute classic. What a beautiful, beautiful deck. And it's been unavailable for at least 3 years at this point. And so many people still who have that deck still adore it and work with it regularly. And so many people who don't wish so deeply that they could find it. And I feel like Chanel's decks are going to be in that same way, um, that because her work is just so beautiful and you can tell the heart and soul. I mean, she's a Scorpio, so she's not going to half-ass do anything. And just the passion and the depth and the beauty that she puts into her decks, I really hope that she will reconsider and continue at some point in the future to create more decks and make the ones that she has as well available. But since that does not seem likely, at least at this time, June 30th, TikTok, Captain Hook, June 30th, 2026 is the last day. So I'll leave the link to make playing cards below. If you guys, any of you guys have the deck, tell me what you think of it. Tell me what you think in the walkthrough. What do you think of it? How do you see yourself using it? Also tell me what decks that you have that you think that it might go well with, that it might pair well with. Um, I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. So if you made it to the end of this video, leave a diamond. Leave a diamond emoji, the gemstone, the diamond emoji. Leave that down below. And until the next video, which hopefully will be happening relatively soon, I am due to make sure that you guys have the next installment of creating change, becoming more comfortable with change for the next ACE in that series of videos. So that I'm hoping to get out. It's Monday turning into Tuesday today right now. So I'm hoping to have that over the weekend, if not before. There's another one of Chanel's decks. I'm really going to try to have that out sooner rather than later. If I can do that one, maybe even tomorrow. It's another one of her decks because I want to, like, again, get them out there for people to see and know and be able to acquire while they can. There's something else really cool that I'm hoping to get to go do tomorrow. And if I'm able to go there, and if I'm able to video, look out for a really cool video that may be coming soon, about a really cool cultural thing that's happening in New Orleans tomorrow. Until the next video, stay healthy, stay well, stay happy, stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you in the next video.